Coach Habib has lost his damn mind, and he does not understand like fatigue when he doesn't do everything. And this guy is crazy out here.
Brother,
Is this guy really crazy?
You have to come to the camp because you know this guy pressure like push us crazy, and you know we have all this sparring, couple grappling rounds, couple wrestling rounds, and that's it. We finish all training. But when we finish all these things, he beginning do like some other exercise too much. As the below, bro, I think
this guy
I
crazy.
think he's never training hard like that.
He gave up a throne to chase a bigger one. Most fighters spend an entire career clawing up one mountain. Islam Makhachev looked down from the peak of lightweight, nodded once, and walked off the edge, straight into a storm at 170. He didn't drift, he jumped. He left a legacy run mid-stride to collide with a champion who built a reputation on controlled chaos and suffocating bodywork. In a sport where comfort kills hunger, Islam picked the most uncomfortable path possible. That's either genius or madness. And the only place you find out which is under bright lights and louder doubts. At welterweight, the game moves differently. The frames are longer, hips are heavier, and single mistakes become weekend headlines. Islam's answer was simple. Stop paying the 155 weight cut tax and start investing it into power, pace, and dangerous calm. When you're no longer dragging yourself to the scale, you get to bring a full gas tank to a fist fight. He vacated the belt to prove a point, that the system he mastered at 155 can scale up against bigger men without breaking. The risk isn't theoretical. You don't test a bridge with a bicycle. You drive a truck across it and feel the bolts. Across the cage stands Della Madalena, the kind of champion who makes smart fighters do dumb things. His timing is addictive. He touches the body, slides his feet just enough, and suddenly, you're trading on his terms. It's not chaos for him, it's a plan disguised as a brawl. Fans know the highlight reel. What they're only now starting to respect is the defensive spine underneath it. You don't knock off elite welterweights by being a one-note puncher. You build layers. You take pride in small escapes, in finding your back to the fence and turning that prison into a doorway. And if anyone thought his ground prep was window dressing, there's a viral clip of JDM putting Craig Jones, yes, that Craig Jones, to sleep with a darce in training that says otherwise. Strikers don't casually put world-class grapplers out. That little moment told a bigger story. He's building answers for wrestlers who won't go away. This isn't random matchmaking. It's a collision of operating systems. Islam's approach is all about forcing you into choices you hate, and then punishing the answer you pick. It starts with the entries. He rarely shoots naked. He shades behind feints, steps you to the fence, and turns underhooks into traps instead of exits. Even when you stuff the first attempt, he chains to a trip, a foot sweep, a knee tap. You're not defending a takedown, you're surviving a sequence. The scoreboard doesn't care how pretty your first sprawl looked. It rewards control, damage, and time, and Islam is ruthless about all three. JDM software fights back in a totally different way. He doesn't need 10 clean moments. He needs 2 that count. He loads data with jabs to the chest, digs the body without winding up, and uses little shoulder rolls to reset the pocket on his own terms. Body work is more than pain. It's theft. Every clean shovel to the ribs taxes level changes, blurs footwork, and makes shot selection hesitate a hair. That hesitation is where hands land. Against a chain wrestler, your first sprawl matters less than your second and third reaction. JDM's best path is not one perfect wall walk. It's staying fundamentally rude for 25 minutes, hard underhooks, heavy hip turns, short counters, and those cruel digs to the midsection that make a grinder breathe loud. The camps reflect that math. Islam's preparation has always looked like stress testing, stacking rounds so fatigue becomes a familiar room, not a crisis. The move to welterweight lets him do it fresher. A less depleted Islam doesn't just wrestle more, he wrestles smarter later when most people start bargaining. Meanwhile, JDM's circle has leaned into wrestling solutions and scramble literacy. There's a reason that Craig Jones' footage caught fire. It's not that a training moment predicts an outcome. It's that it signals intent. They're not pretending the fight won't hit the floor. They're building rehearsed exits for the exact moments where Islam usually breaks spirits. Zoom in on the fence. That's where most bravado dies. Islam's brilliance isn't just double legs in open space. It's making you carry him while he rearranges your feet. He'll step across, threaten a reap, make you widen your base, then turn underhook lift into a mat return that looks like gravity changed its mind. If JDM gives up his hips straight, he's in trouble. If he greedily tries to circle with high posture, he's in trouble. The safe lane is narrow. Frame the head, fight inside hands, and peel hands before you pivot, and punish the re-entries with short, mean body shots that don't need wind up. The point isn't to win the first clinch. It's to make Islam pay a toll every time he passes the gate. And then there's pace. People talk about power as if it's only in the hands. Power lives in decisions too. Pace forces mistakes that technique alone can't summon. Islam's pressure at 155 starved opponents of air and choice. At 170, if the gas tank travels up the scale with him, it gets ugly for anyone who tries to coast. But JDM doesn't coast. He stacks attrition early with those body touches, then he widens the exchanges. If he can make Islam spend energy defending many exits and then return him to center, the wrestling sequences start one beat later each round. One beat later becomes one step slower. One step slower becomes one clean hook. So how does each man win? For Islam, it starts with left-hand discipline and lead foot positioning. He can't let JDM set southpaw openings without attacks. Touch the calf early, make the pocket small, make the fence real estate expensive. Don't chase heads, chase corners. Turn underhooks into mat time, not scrambles. When he gets top, he can't ride safe, he has to ride violent. Smother, punch, slice. The goal isn't to hold, it's to make JDM decide he hates getting up. Islam's plan B if the clean entries stall, short collar ties into snap downs into front headlocks where he threatens the back and forces JDM to plant a hand. Planting hands gets you dragged. Dragging gets you minutes. For JDM, the win condition is clarity. Keep the boxing shaped like boxing. Jab chest and body, draw level changes you can read, and never give away the center for free. The first sprawl matters, but the first pivot matters more. Hips back, hands fighting the lock, shoulder inside, and punish with a half-beat body hook as you turn. Don't chase knockouts in the first 10 minutes. Chase breath. If he can make Islam exchange at mid-range without clean collar ties, the third and fourth rounds shift from wrestling auditions to striking negotiations. That's where JDM's hands speak the loudest. And yes, the stage matters. Madison Square Garden turns big fights into bigger memories. The building has a way of making fighters speed up the openings and slow down the exits. That's dangerous against someone like Islam, who hides traps and transitions, and equally dangerous against someone like JDM, who cashes panic with counters. If this matchup lands in November like the breadcrumbs suggest, the card will carry the event of the year feel before the first glove taps. That pressure is not neutral, it steals composure from the impatient. The consequences are brutal either way. If Islam wins at 170, he becomes the rare champion who walked away from one empire and planted a flag in another. The whispers about a super fight with Ilia Topuria get loud, meme level loud, and legacy talk drowns out the second guessing about leaving lightweight. If JDM wins, he doesn't just keep a belt, he keeps a myth at arm's length. He turns back the most efficient control artist of his era and forces a question Islam won't enjoy. Back to 155 through a door he voluntarily closed, or forward at 170 through a crowd that now believes he's human here. The sport loves crossroads because they make truth cheap and excuses expensive. There's a reason fans can't agree on the outcome. Islam's game is designed to flatten volatility. JDM's is designed to ignite it. One trusts sequences, the other trusts moments. Both can be right. On some nights, sequences survives. On others, moments rewrite plans. If you're keeping a scorecard at home, track these tells. Does Islam get clean mat returns off the first fence exchange? Does JDM's body shots land without being smothered in the clinch? Does the fight spend more time with JDM's heels on the logo or on the monster energy mark near the fence? Those three answers usually predict who is smiling after round 3. What makes this matchup addictive is how little room there is for lies. Your prep either holds up or it doesn't. Your cardio either lets you build or it betrays you. Your pride either helps you fire or dares you to overreach. Islam isn't here for fun. He's here to prove a system scales. JDM isn't here for a cameo. He's trying to prove that violence with purpose beats perfect control. When the cage locks, both theories get graded in public. And that brings us to the only question that matters. Which minute changes the fight? Not the round, the minute. Is it a second round fence ride where Islam finally laces the legs and makes the world smaller? Or a third round exchange where a midriff hook takes half a step from the wrestler's pace and gives the boxer his window? Tell me which minute you believe in, and I'll tell you your winner. Until then, we stand where the best fights live, right in the middle of maybe.